regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Now, let the espion out of you, and now, let the espion out of you, and now. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
Okay, then I said end.
Good?
یک دو سه آزمایش میکنیم. یک دو سه.
Oh, okay.
یک دو سه. یک دو سه.
Oh, nice.
یک دو سه.
Yeah. Okay. What?
یک
Oh,
دو
yeah.
سه.
I'll put the
یک دو
through the
سه.
phone. So.
زن مقاومت آزادی. 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 زن مقاومت آزادی.
Ladies and gentlemen,
یک دو سه.
check. Check. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin today's program with Iran's national anthem, Ey Iran.
ای ایران ای مرز پرگوهر ای خاکت سرچشمه هنر دور از تو اندیشه بدان پاینده مانی تو جاودان دشمن تو سنگ خار ایمانان جان من فدای خاک پاک میهنم مهر تو چون شد پیشم دور از تو نیست اندیشم در راه تو کی ارزشی دارد این جان ما پاینده باد خاک ایران ما ایران ای خرم بهشت من روشن است و سرنوشت من گر آتش بارد به پیکرم جز مهرت در دل نپرورم با آب و خاک و مهر تو سرشته شد مهر اگر برون رود تو هیشمت دلم مهر تو چون شد پیشم دور از تو نیست اندیشم در راه تو کی ارزشی دارد این جان ما پاینده باد خاک ایران ما
پزشکیان out of UN now 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 terrorist regime out of UN now 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 پزشکیان out of UN now now now
پزشکیان out of UN now 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 سلام به همه خواهران برادران، چه عظمتی، ماشاءالله ماشاءالله. Honorable Judge Mukasey, Congressman Ted Poe, Ambassador Mark Ginsburg, friends, brothers and sisters, welcome to the second day of our great rally. Let me thank everyone who came yesterday and today. Your presence by thousands and thousands and your voices were very strong. Your presence was very powerful. You made history in the streets of New York in front of the Commercial Plaza and United Nations. With the clearest voice, you echoed what our compatriots in Rome, Paris, Brussels have declared in recent weeks. The voice of the Iranian people throughout the country of Iran, and that is the overthrow of the religious dictatorship and the establishment of a democratic republic and freedom and democratic rights. And today we are back again, stronger than ever before. We are here for one reason: to reject the president of a regime that is the world's #1 state sponsor of terrorism, a regime that massacres prisoners, a regime that suppresses women and youth, the regime that is racing for nuclear weapons. But my friends here, this is not just a protest. This is also a message of hope, because there is an alternative. There is an organized resistance, and there is a leader with a vision for a free Iran, and that is Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, the president-elect of the president, Mrs. And that is Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, the president-elect of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. Her 10-point plan shows the world that Iran can be democratic, Iran can be secular, free, non-nuclear republic where men and women are equal and human rights are respected. And now it's my great honor to announce we will hear her voice of Mrs. Maryam Rajavi speaking to you all. She's going to speak to brave voices of freedom. Let's hear that. But let me say this for the people inside Iran. هموطنان عزیز، بسیار خوشحالم و مفتخرم که به اطلاع شما عزیزان برسانم که پیام رئیس جمهور منتخب شورای ملی مقاومت خانم مریم رجوی خطاب به تجمع کنندگان 23 و 24 در مقابل سازمان ملل متحد را گوش فرا می‌دهیم.
هموطنان عزیز، شخصیت‌های گرامی، به همه شما درود می‌فرستم. پایداری شما که هر سال به نشانه اعتراض در این محل اجتماع می‌کنید، در واقع حمایت از جوانان قیام و قیام آفرین در داخل ایران است. این پایداری سرمایه مردم ایران برای پیروزی است. آری، از پاریس و روم و بروکسل تا نیویورک که شما از ایالت‌های مختلف آمریکا در اون اجتماع کردید، حرف همه یکیست. همان حرف تهران و مشهد و اهواز و تبریز و زاهدان و کرمان و کردستان و سراسر ایران و زندانها و زندانیان. حرف خیلی کوتاه و روشن است. سرنگونی و تغییر دموکراتیک، جمهوری دموکراتیک و آزادی ها و حقوق دموکراتیک. و ملت ما با شما و از طریق شما امروز در مقابل سازمان ملل رو به همه دنیا و ملت ها و کشورها میگوید که ما از هر زمان دیگر به این خواست برحق نزدیکتریم.
دموکراسی فریدم وید مریم رجوی.
در حضور قدرتمند شما در برابر مقر سازمان ملل، جهان می‌بیند که مردم ایران را شما نمایندگی می‌کنید. شما در مقابل ملل متحد صدای مردم ایران هستید، نه رئیس جمهور ولی فقیه که در 14 ماه ریاستش تا دیروز 1817 نفر رو اعدام کرده. آمار ما البته کامل نیست، مثل قربانیان کرونا که 3 روز پیش طبق آماری که معاون اجرایی دولت رئیسی علنی کرد، ما فهمیدیم که آمار واقعی قربانیان دست کم 2 برابر 530,000 نفری بود که ما میگفتیم. پس ما حق داریم که بپرسیم فرستاده یک رژیم ضد بشری در اینجا چه میکند؟ رژیمی که طبق گزارشگر ملل متحد بعد از 6 سال تحقیقات معلوم شد که سر تا پا دستن در کار جنایت علیه بشریت و نسل کشی بوده است. آیا زمان به رسمیت شناختن مبارزه و مقاومت و قیام مردم ایران برای تغییر این رژیم طبق اعلامیه جهانی حقوق بشر فرا نرسیده است؟ دیکتاتوری دینی در ایران تا به حال 71 بار در مجمع عمومی و سایر ارگان‌های ملل متحد به خاطر اعدام‌ها و شکنجه و نقض وحشتناک حقوق بشر توسط جامعه جهانی محکوم شده. حرف ما این است که کرسی مردم ایران در ملل متحد نباید به رژیم اعدام و قتل عام داده شود. پرونده نسل کشی و جنایت علیه بشریت در ایران را به شورای امنیت ملل متحد احاله دهید. خامنه‌ای و مسئولان این جنایت ها باید در دادگاه بین المللی محاکمه شوند. در مقابل کشتار بیرحمانه جوانان ایرانی که برای اعتراض به خیابان ها می آیند سکوت نکنید. آری، سکوت نکنید.
مرگ بر خامنه ای، درود بر رجوی.
اگر از یک دهه پیش نبود و قطعنامه ها متوقف نمیشد، هیچ نیازی به جنگ هم نبود. ثابت شد که رژیم آخوندها از پروژه اتمی دست بردار نیست و اروپا در دقیقه 90 چاره جز ماشه ندارد. آیا غیر از این است که اگر 23 سال پیش مقاومت ایران پروژه و سایت‌های مخفی اتمی رژیم را فاش نمی‌کرد، آخوندها مدت‌ها بود که به بمب اتمی مسلح شده بودند و دنیا را مثل برخی کشورهای دیگه در برابر عمل انجام شده قرار می‌دادند؟ آیا 133 رشته افشاگری که مقاومت ایران در این باره انجام داده بالاترین خدمت به صلح و امنیت در خاورمیانه و جهان نبود؟ اون هم خدمتی بدون چشم داشت و حتی بدون یک کلمه تشکر. آیا ملل متحد و اعضای اون در خوابی بودند که این همه سال به درازا کشید؟ آیا اگر گوش شنوایی بود کار به جنگ میکشید؟ هرگز، هرگز. ما از دهه 70 بارها و بارها اعلام کردیم که رژیم آخوندها سلاح اتمی را تنها تضمین استراتژیکی بقای خودش میدونه. جنگ اصلی او با مردم ایران است و تغییر و سرنگونی هم توسط مردم ایران انجام می شود.
Change! Regime change in Iran by the
خامنه‌ای در اولین سخنانش بعد از شروع جنگ 12 روزه از هسته‌های خفته مجاهدین و نقش مسیر اونها برای قیام ابراز نگرانی کرد. بله، این کابوس شب و روز خامنه‌ایه. اما هسته خفته‌ای در کار نیست. کانون‌های شورشی و جوانان شورشی بیدارترین و هوشیارترین فرزندان رزمنده ایران هستند. آنها امیدهای زنده، مجسم و پرشور یک خلق برای آزادی هستند. همونها که به قول مسعود گام باقی مانده تا قیام را شتابان و با چنگ و ناخن و دندان در می نوردند.
کانونهای شورشی مجاهدین یارتان، مشعل پیکارتان.
برای آینده ایران حرف ما و پیام ما ساده است: حاکمیت جمهور. همین دو کلمه یعنی جمهور مردم. نه شیخ میخواهیم و نه شاه. روزگار هر نوع دیکتاتوری، چه دینی و چه سلطنتی، به سر رسیده. به گذشته بر نمیگردیم و بر دیکتاتوری دینی حال حاضر هم برشوریده ایم. در برابر مقر ملل متحد بگذارید دنیا بشنود: از آن ماست فردا، از آن ماست پیروزی. سلام بر ایران، سلام بر آزادی، درود بر همه شما.
ایران مریم، مریم ایران، ایران مریم، مریم ایران، ایران مریم، مریم ایران، ایران مریم، مریم ایران. ایران مریم مریم ایران Democracy, freedom with Maryam Rajavi. مرگ بر خامنه ای درود بر رجوی.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New York. And good morning to every person here standing for a free Iran. Yesterday, thousands of you were here and we made our voices heard. And today we continue that chorus. To make sure that Masoud Pezeshkian, the president of the world's leading executioner, would not get away with his lies. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure. Our first guest is a distinguished legal mind, a man who has served as the 81st Attorney General of the United States. He understands the fundamental principles of justice and the rule of law. He has long championed the cause of free Iran and has been a powerful voice for holding the mullahs accountable for their crimes. Please welcome the Honorable Michael Mukasey.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, and thank you all for being here. And particularly warm greetings to the residents of Ashraf, who I understand are watching this today. This is the 60th year since the founding of MEK, and of course, a lot has changed in that time, although in a sense, a lot has not changed. MEK was founded to oppose the tyranny of the Shah. It continues to oppose tyranny. Since 1979, and now, the tyranny of the mullahs. The late Senator Joseph Lieberman, a great friend of MEK and a personal friend of mine and law school classmate from law school, referred to Iran as the unfinished business of the 20th century. And it still is the unfinished business of the 20th century. We're meeting today across the street from the headquarters of the United Nations, an institution that should have been of help. A man named Masoud Pezeshkian has come to the United Nations to attend the UN General Assembly, claiming to represent Iran. But of course, all he represents is the tyrannical regime of the mullahs that for the moment controls the country. When Pezeshkian took office, another law school classmate of mine circulated an email to the class saying that we should all be encouraged because it's likely he will be more liberal than Ibrahim Raisi, the mass murderer who was his immediate predecessor. The reason why my classmate thought Pezeshkian was likely to be liberal is that he is a physician, a cardiologist who practices the healing arts, and so surely he must be humane. As I pointed out to my classmate and to the others at the time, Bashar al-Assad of Syria, who killed hundreds of thousands of his own citizens, is a physician. The late Ayman al-Zawahiri, who succeeded Osama bin Laden as head of al-Qaeda, was a physician. And Joseph Mengele, who conducted experiments on concentration camp inmates during World War II, was a physician. So we should not take a lot of encouragement from Dr. Pezeshkian's medical credentials. And sure enough, he is simply a mouthpiece for the mullahs, as he himself has conceded. But even if Pezeshkian is not much of an improvement, as to matters that are not within the control of the regime, things do seem much improved. For the first time since I started addressing gatherings like this in 2009, we can be less concerned with the possibility that the regime may get an atomic bomb. Those ambitions were dashed in the past several weeks. We can also take encouragement from the fact that the Europeans have started the process of putting in place the snapback sanctions that the regime has been dreading, and that will likely make its precarious economic situation even shakier. Even before those sanctions go into effect, the regime cannot even provide its citizens with reliable supplies of electricity and water. I don't think it's an overstatement to say that conditions are more favorable now for the collapse of the regime than they have been in decades. Unfortunately, one symptom of this good news is the bad news, that the regime has reverted to an accelerated campaign of executions and repression as the only way of trying to stay in control. However, even in the face of this brutality, the Iranian people demonstrate against the regime and make it clear that they blame the regime and not the nations opposing the regime for the harsh conditions in the country. There are several things that we can do from outside the country to help bring about better days for the Iranian people. First, we should make it clear to our own governments that the only alternative for the Iranian people and the rest of the world to live with is regime change.
Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
Second, we should make it clear that that change must be complete and reject the suggestion of self-serving fools like the son of the Shah and members of his clique that people in the IRGC and the MOIS can help establish a new order in Iran, or that his connection to the corrupt regime of the Shah somehow gives him credentials for leadership in a new government.
No, Shah, no.
We must make it clear to the media that he has no standing whatsoever to claim leadership authority.
No, Shah, no mullah. No, Shah, no mullah. Third, we should prepare for the day when the mullahs and those who support them can be made to face justice by compiling a record, by testimony and documentation of what they did. The massacres, the phony trials, the executions, so that the evidence is at hand. And finally, we should make it clear that any new order must be based on principles of democracy and equality of all men and women before the law and a non-nuclear government, principles that are outlined by Mrs. Rajavi in her 10-point plan. In short, this is the time to redouble our efforts against the regime and to prepare for the day when those efforts succeed. The people in Ashraf who are watching this rally already know this. We have to get the message to that outside the country and to the world at large. Thank you very much for being here.
پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now. پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just received word that the murderous Pezeshkian is speaking in the UN now. So let's let him hear our voices. Let him know what we are here for. Let's be the voice of our brothers and sisters in Iran and let him know he does not represent people of Iran. Pezeshkian out of UN now, now, now. Pezeshkian out of UN now, now, now.
پزشکیان out of UN. پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now. پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now. پزشکیان برو گم شو. پزشکیان برو گم شو. پزشکیان برو گم شو. پزشکیان برو گم شو. مرگ بر خامنه ای. پزشکیان درود بر رجوی. پزشکیان خائن این آخرین پیام سرنگونی تو راهه. پزشکیان خائن این آخرین پیام سرنگونی تو راهه. حرف اول حرف آخر سرنگونی سرنگونی. مرگ بر خامنه ای. درود بر رجوی. مرگ بر خامنه ای. درود بر رجوی. مسعود رهبر ماست. پیروزی از آن ماست. پیروزی از آن راه نجات مردم آتش قیام تهاجم درود بر رجوی رژیم of Iran. Terrorist regime out of UN now, now, now. پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now.
پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now. پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now. پزشکیان out of UN now, now, now.
Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
مرگ بر اصل ولایت فقیه زنده باد ارتش آزادی.
مرگ بر اصل ولایت فقیه زنده باد ارتش آزادی. مرگ بر اصل ولایت فقیه زنده باد ارتش آزادی.
حکومت آخوندی سرنگون سرنگون.
حکومت آخوندی سرنگون سرنگون. حکومت آخوندی سرنگون سرنگون. حکومت آخوندی سرنگون سرنگون.
مرگ بر خامنه ای درود بر رجوی.
مرگ بر خامنه ای درود بر رجوی. مرگ بر خامنه ای درود بر رجوی. مرگ بر خامنه ای درود بر رجوی.
Rajavi, yes! Mullahs, no! They are terrorists, they must go!
Rajavi, yes! Mullahs, no! They are terrorists, they must go! Rajavi, yes! Mullahs, no! They are terrorists, they must go! Rajavi, yes! Mullahs, no! They are terrorists, they must go!
We shall fight! We shall win! Viva, viva Rajavi!
We shall fight! We shall win! Viva, viva Rajavi! We shall fight! We shall win! Viva, viva Rajavi! We shall fight!
ایران، مریم، آزادی، شورش، اسیان، پیروزی.
ایران، مریم، آزادی، شورش، اسیان، پیروزی. ایران، مریم، آزادی، شورش، اسیان، پیروزی.
مسعود رهبر ماست، پیروزی از آن ماست.
مسعود رهبر ماست، پیروزی از آن ماست. مسعود رهبر ماست، پیروزی از آن ماست. مسعود رهبر ماست، پیروزی از آن ماست.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by another powerful voice for justice. As a former U.S. congressman and a former judge, he has dedicated his life fighting for human rights. He has a deep personal commitment to the cause of free Iran and has been relentless advocate for the people of Iran in the halls of Washington, D.C. Please welcome the Honorable Ted Poe.
Greetings. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here with you. I was hoping that the president that y'all were talking about just now, Pashkian, when he's finished over there, would come over here and answer a few questions from y'all. See you at all, but we have some wonderful people here, people that I have known for a long, long time. Over 20 years ago, some Iranian Texans showed up in my office and started telling me about the oppression in your country. I was shocked to learn about that, because then, like now, most of the world is ignoring the oppression of the people of Iran. But we're not ignoring it. And a lot of you have been in this fight for a long time. Some of your hair has gotten like mine, and my stomach a little like Mr. Sujani's, you know. But it's worth it for what you have been involved in. So I say to the people of Iran, to my fellow Americans, to my fellow Texans, the lovers of freedom throughout the world, wherever you are, to the children of the slain families, some of those children are here, to the parents of the murdered sons of liberty and the daughters of democracy, some of those parents are here. We will never sleep, we will never slumber until the Iranian people are free. Two hundred and 50 years ago. Now that's a long time for Americans. It's not a long time in the history of Persia and Iran. But 250 years ago, a young 30-year-old and his neighbors got together and protested another tyrant. Thomas Jefferson was his name. And so he and his friends, mainly young people, wrote a letter. They called it a Declaration of Independence, a 10-point plan, if you will. To the King of England, King George III, and demanded the end to demanded the presence of the English in America. And what he wrote in the Declaration of Independence is the justification for why the people here separated themselves and became a free people to a tyrant somewhere across the sea. And it has a lot in it. I'm not going to read it all. But here's what he said. We hold these truths to be self-evident, self-proving, if you will, that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain rights. Are you listening? That among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And governments are instituted among the people to secure those rights. Here's the good part. Here's the good part. Whenever any government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish that government. That sounds like something y'all would say, you know? And our rights, they don't come from government or the dictator or the tyrant or the mullahs or the IRGC. Our rights come from the Almighty. Your rights come from the Almighty. All peoples everywhere, of all religions, of all faiths, have the right that you here are fighting for. Our rights don't come from dictators, kings, or tyrants. And governments are to protect those rights. And the declaration that I read to you states that people have a right and a duty to replace that government. That means the Iranian people, the people of old Persia who want their country back, should take it back. It's your country. You should be in charge. It's down in our soul to be free. That's the way we're made, to be free. You know, the resistance that is taking place now has been around a long time. And it didn't start with the mullahs and the Iranian president now and the IRGC. It started with removing another dictator, the Shah. And let me say this. You went and gave your lives to get rid of a dictator because you wanted to be free. And now some are talking about replacing that dictator with one of his family members. That is not a good idea. And this band of sisters and brothers demanding their God-given rights is not just a few people. It numbers in the hundreds of thousands in places other than in Iran, places like the United States. I've met a lot of Iranian Americans, a lot of Iranian Texans. You know, let me just say this. I think Texans are a lot like Iranians. They're hard-headed like you are. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. There were folks in Belgium last week, people that have protested the dictatorship from France to Albania to Camp Ashraf. Now, I've been to Camp Ashraf. I've seen your relatives who are there. I've seen the hundreds and thousands of photographs. Just a few are back here of people, your people, who just want to be free, and they got killed for it. They got murdered for it. They got murdered for it because of the dictator that is in Tehran today. It's astounding to me, the public hangings of young people, of women, young women, who all they did was say they wanted to be free. And so they have suffered those consequences. They want just a little bit of freedom. And I should mention, not one Iranian official that I know has ever been held accountable for the murder of the innocents in Iran. Not one. And over there, they've got officials from Iran. Rather than talking to them, they ought to talk to them about the war crimes they have committed and put them on trial for what they have done to you, to the people of Iran. You know, your resistance to tyranny won't quit. You know, and that is a good thing. There are some things worth living for. And freedom, I can think of nothing more important than your freedom, our freedom to live for. Just like those people 250 years ago decided they would give all they had to be free. The resistance has a plan. It's the same plan written over 20 years ago. It's a 10-point plan. It's a declaration of independence. It's a plan where the people of Iran can determine their own destiny. The mullahs have a plan too. Kill the people of Iran. That's their plan. They murder their own people. Y'all, or all y'all, as we say in plural. You'll figure that out in a minute. That is their plan. They want to be at war with their own people. They want to start wars all over the world. In little countries, in Africa, South America, the Middle East. They want to do mischief everywhere. They want nuclear weapons. That is their plan. Your plan is different. The 10-point plan is that to let the Iranian people control their own destiny, their own country. The answer cannot be the mullahs' plan. The answer cannot be the IRGC putting them in charge. Are you kidding me? The IRGC is a terrorist organization. Why would anybody be in charge that is a terrorist organization of the people? You know, it's like putting the fox in the hen house to put the IRGC in charge. The people of Iran should have their will done, and free people should support the concept of a regime change. You know, let me say this. We have a bunch of, several people. I should say this. All of y'all are young, but some of you are younger than others. And especially, we have in this presence young women involved in this movement. That is a good thing because, you know, like Madame Rajavi, women are equal. Now, my wife thinks, you know, men, you know, whatever, are not so equal with women. Women are, you know, up here. Let me say this. To all you young women that are listening, my grandmother used to say to me when I was a little kid, she would say to me, let me tell you something. There is nothing more powerful you women have made up your mind. Oh, and woe be to the mullahs what they're dealing with. They do not know what they're dealing with because of the power of persuasion, because of who you are. So, and many young women, I know I'm talking longer than I'm supposed to, many young women have given their lives just for what you're standing here for today. So now is a new dawn over the Lion of Persia. And that new dawn is a free people. The mullahs fear you. They fear the people of Iran. The IRGC, the goons of destruction, they fear you. But I say to the people of Iran and to you and to all freedom-loving people everywhere, don't let the mullahs keep you awake at night. You already keep them awake at night because they fear you. And to those folks over there, support the people, not dictators, not replacement dictators. Never go weary in your fight for freedom. Justice, freedom, and liberty are not just three words. They started years ago by other peoples. They're in the Declaration of Independence. And to the mullahs I say, the people are not going away. They will not go quietly into the dark of the abyss because the Iranian people never in their souls will yield to tyrants. And that's just the way it is. Thank you very much.
کوه سر به سر اوج خروشان تر از موج همچو ابرها سبک باد بگویمت به تکرار ز بند خویش رستیم و با تو عهد بستیم یکان یکان صف کشیم بند خویش رستیم و با تو بستیم یکان صف کشیده در انقلاب آبیده
Ladies and gentlemen, and now we are joined by a man who has a lifetime of experience in diplomacy. As a former U.S. ambassador to Morocco, he has an unparalleled understanding of the geopolitics of the Middle East. Before that, he served as the deputy senior advisor to President Carter for the Middle East policy. He knows that the mullahs regime is a threat not just to the people of Iran, but to the peace and stability across the entire region. Please welcome Ambassador Mark Ginsburg.
Hello, everybody. Hello, my friends. My friends and supporters of a democratic Iran. Welcome to New York. So nice to have you here. You know, first of all, I know that you're standing there. I promise I'll give you one hell of a speech. You okay? I want to convey my thanks to the members of the Organization of Iranian American Communities and to the National Council of Resistance of Iran who organized today's Free Iran rally. How appropriate that you are here today. Ever since my young days as a diplomat in the Carter administration, oh my gosh, almost 45 years ago, I witnessed firsthand the rise of the mullahs and what it would mean to the peace of the world. I was determined then, as I am now, to right the wrongs of the past and do what I must to cast this lousy regime, this terrorist regime, on the trash heaps of history. For decades, ever since I've been 30 years old, and now I'm about to be 75, I have stood with you, okay? I have come to know you. I have come to respect you. I've come to love your families. I've come to stand for you wherever I can. And I've been proud to stand against the mullahs, inspired by the democratic ideals of the People's Resistance and Madame Maryam Rajavi, who I respect and admire so much as a friend and as a leader. You know, this president of Iran, this is his second visit. And he will come here, as he spoke today, to exaggerate Iran's peaceful intentions. Oh, and how he will huff and he will puff with bogus bluster. How Iran, he will decry the decisions of the European nations, fed up with the regime's fabrications and falsehoods to snap back sanctions. He will blame the moon and the stars for the oppressed people and for the wars that Iran has committed in Iran. He will blame everybody except the supreme leader, the IRGC, and that decrepit terrorist regime that brings such horror to the people of Iran. I ask you, this so-called reformist president on his second trip just look. Mayhem the president and his cabal have inflicted on Israel. The rest of the Middle resistance. What a joke that Axis is resistance. It is a figment of the regime's warped imagination. And thanks to the resistance units of Iran who have sacrificed under Madam Rajavi, your friends and your family, that axis of resistance is no longer. You know, my friends, the mullahs consider nuclear bombs an insurance policy against their downfall. They blindly believe the free world will let them build a bomb and cling to power with the bomb in their hands. If they believe that, my friends, I have a bridge down the river in Brooklyn to sell them. You know, our allies have concluded what you and I have long known. This regime can never be trusted. It is irredeemable, it is unreformable, and it must go. This is a moment of truth to reimpose the snapback sanctions that Iran wiggled out of in 2015. Since 2015, it has violated the Iran nuclear agreement. The sanctions must be snapped back. They must be reimposed. They must accelerate the end of this regime. Let us hope that our European allies will not cave to Tehran's 11th hour false assurances that all will be well if the Europeans do not reimpose sanctions. As the sanctions noose tightens around the neck of the regime, inch by inch by inch, this regime must be held accountable for more than its nuclear sins. We need to choke off. We need to choke off their access to international financial system and to the spare parts they desperately need to fuel their weakened economy. We need the consistent application of iron-fisted soft power, and that is vital. The regime will be brought to justice, I promise you. This regime will be brought to justice for violating every international convention on human rights that this United Nations behind us is supposed to honor and respect. You know, this regime will never stop lining its pockets and stealing from the Iranian people. They will never stop murdering the people who seek democracy and freedom. The people who stand tall in the streets of Iran will not stop demonstrating, will not give up. They will continue to fight. Every day across the Iran, protesters are defying their regime. I know. We hear their pleas for help in Washington, in New York, in Chicago, around the world. We hear their pleas. We know you are calling us for help. And I know, my friends, that you are here because you reject the past dictatorship of the Shah and the not ready for primetime Hollywood production orchestrated by his son to restore his father's autocratic, corrupt regime. I know the people of Iran do not want to turn back the clock to the days of kings doling out little bits and pieces of democracy while they rule from the throne. Friends, this is the 60th anniversary of the People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran. For over 60 years, it has been the vanguard of democratic aspirations, providing resilience, leadership, and vital intelligence that were instrumental in helping to prevent Iran from already having the bomb. We are so proud of their sacrifices. And along with the MEK and the National Council of Resistance of Iran, the NCRI has galvanized the democratic movement inside and outside Iran, promoting peace, resistance, and change under the tried and true leadership of Mrs. Rajavi. Mrs. Rajavi's 10-point democratic plan for Iran's future has been embraced by so many leading Americans and statesmen around the world who have come to know and respect her. And I know, I have been with her, with all of these leaders. They stand by her because she is the true leader of a democratic opposition. If she were no threat, this decrepit regime would not be spending morning, noon, and night to end her rule and to end her movement. They fear her, as well they should. You know, my friends, they know she's an iron lady whose network inside Iran has chipped away piece by piece at the edifice of this regime and its global network based in Ashraf 3, as well as in Europe and North America and in Australia, is so impressive. She is offering the world a democratic roadmap for a future of Iran without foreign interference or boots on the ground. That is something that no one else is offering. The thousands of men and women in Ashraf 3 have years of experience standing up to this regime. Ashraf 3 is not just a place. It is an ideal, it is an aspiration for freedom and justice. Ladies and gentlemen, with every protester killed, the regime just adds more fuel to the fire of their end. A change in this perverse system of government must come, but it requires all your help and all the help of the American people. Since 1981, you have come here to this plaza, demanding change, demanding freedom for your family and friends in Iran. 45 years you have pleaded with the world's leaders to stand up for freedom and justice and democracy. Iran's future belongs to the free people of Iran and the freedom-loving people of Iran. All democracies, all of your friends and family in the United States, all of the leaders of the United States, all democracies around the world must stand with them. As we do so today, thank you for being here. Thank you for defending freedom. Thank you.
Democracy, freedom, Iranian, Rajavi.
Thank you so much.
شویم
دموکراسی فریدم فیدمانیان
در آسمان
رجبی
شهر رعد بی امان شویم ای تو خواهرم برادرم به پا اهرمن رود وطن شود رها رها عزم گاه پر خطر کنی عزیز بی گمان که پشت ما خدا بود خدا یکان شویم به جنگ شب رویم طلسم اختلاف تا همیشه بشکنیم یکان شویم ارتشی گران شویم در آسمان شهر رعد بی امان شویم از بلند دنا تا کران عرس از دیار بیستون تا کویر تبس باید آماده شد گرد رخوت تکاند رو به جلاد قرن ماشه ها را چکاند یکان شویم تا همیشه بشکنیم یکان شویم ارتشی گران شویم در آسمان شهر رعد بی امان شویم پیشوای انقلاب میدهد ندا رمز فتح قله ها فدا بود فدا شعله بر کن آتش ستیز تا نظام جهل و کین فنا شود فنا یکان شویم به جنگ شب رویم طلسم اختناق تا همیشه بشکنیم یکان شویم ارتشی گران شویم در آسمان شهر رعد بی امان شویم
درود بر شما نسل جوان، درود بر اشرف شانان جوان که پرچم ایران زمین و آرم مجاهدین را بلند گرفته این حتی سرنگونی پایین نمیاریم، پس فریاد میزنیم ما زن و مرد جنگیم به جنگ تا بجنگیم،
ما زن و مرد جنگیم به جنگ تا بجنگیم، ما زن و مرد جنگیم به جنگ تا بجنگیم. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we are joined by a truly inspiring delegation, our youth. The voices of our future are here to share their thoughts, their hopes for a free Iran. Among them, we have Maryam Hosseini, who is a pre-med student in California, Emma Dalibegi, who is a student in criminology, and Mani Masampur, who is a student in international business. Please give them a warm round of applause.
Hello, my name is Maryam, and I'm standing here with you today not only as a young Iranian American, but as a musician, a graduating senior pre-med student, and perhaps the most defining, the daughter of a former political prisoner. My life has been shaped by the freedom of expression, music, art, the pursuit of knowledge, and the dream of healing others, all of which are denied to the young people in Iran under this regime. For me, this struggle is not abstract. It runs through my family. My father endured years as a political prisoner simply for daring to stand on the side of freedom and supporting the MEK, imprisoned for the mere crime of distributing MEK newspapers. His cousin, also a member of the MEK, was executed by the regime. Hearing my father's story and hearing what a strong woman his cousin was has shaped me into the woman I am today. I grew up hearing stories of prison walls meant to silence voices of dissent. But instead of silence, those stories became my strength. They remind me every day that the Iranian people cannot This truth has been written across Iran's modern history since June 1981, from the early days of organized resistance to the 2009 protests, continuing into the nationwide uprisings of 2017 and 2019, and finally to the decisive movement of 2022. Each generation has risen, and each time the regime has tried to crush them, yet the people continue to return, stronger, clearer, and more united than ever. Earlier this month, tens of thousands rallied in Brussels in support of Mrs. Mariam Rajavi's progressive 10-point plan, celebrating the 60th anniversary of Iran's longest-running political movement, the Mujahedin Khalq. We stand here today, outside of the United Nations, thousands more alike, echoing that same message and calling on the UN to expel the regime's representatives. They do not speak for Iran. Pezeshkian out of UN. They do not speak for Iran. We are echoing the voices of those fighting the regime in Iran, those enduring torture, those acting as an engine for change. Yes, they are the voices of Iran today. As a musician, I believe in the power of art to transcend borders and carry messages when words are censored. As a future doctor, I believe in healing bodies, in healing not only bodies, but broken societies. And as the daughter of a political prisoner, I know firsthand and have witnessed firsthand that even in the darkest prisons, they cannot extinguish the light of freedom. We are the generation that will see Iran free. We are the music. We are the medicine. We are the heartbeat of a new republic. And no power on earth can stop our people who refuse to be chained. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Indeed. Indeed, the future Democratic Republic of Iran will be built by the generations who fought for it, not by those involved in dictatorship. Our message is unstoppable and straightforward. No to the Shah, no to the mullahs, yes to a democratic republic for the people of Iran and by the people of Iran. No to Shah, no to mullah. The future belongs to the people of Iran, and together we will achieve this. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my dear brothers and sisters in freedom, I stand before you today with a profound sense of honor and purpose. I am Emma Valibegi, a young Iranian, and it is both humbling and empowering to be in the presence of so many courageous freedom fighters and unwavering supporters of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. The fight for a free Iran is not just a political cause to me. It is a deeply personal mission, one that has been shaped by both my history and my hope for the future. My father was born in Iran and lived through the Islamic Revolution. His cousin Karim was only 18 years old when he was imprisoned for supporting the MEK. Karim endured 7 years in prison before being executed during the 1988 massacre, along with nearly 30,000 other political prisoners. That loss, that heartbreak, that deep injustice continues to echo in the heart of our family, in every thought and in every act of resistance. Though I was born after the 1979 revolution, I have grown up with this legacy, and it has shaped my understanding of the struggle. I often think of the young people in Iran today, students just like me, who are not free to speak their minds, to study, or to dream. Rather, they are silenced by fear, oppressed by an iron fist, and I want for them to have what I have: the right to live freely, to pursue an education, and to build a future in their own homeland. This is why I stand here today in unwavering support of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. They are not just opposing the regime, they are presenting an alternative, a real vision for a free and democratic a republic rooted in the principles of freedom, equality, secularism, and human rights. Some might say that because understand history and the distortion of that history by those who wish to paint the Shah's regime as good-natured is both misguided and dangerous. A repressive force, Savak, his secret police, tortured and silenced descendants. We cannot afford to choose between one dictatorship and another. Iran deserves better. The only path forward is the one presented by the NCRI and the PMOI. I have met members of this resistance, brave souls who have dedicated their lives to determination are what inspires me. They give me hope, a hope in the Iran that I long for, an Iran where people are not executed for their beliefs, where no one has to whisper their opinions in fear, and where the hopes of the younger generation are restored. This is the Iran I believe in, and this is the future we will build together. We gather today in thousands, not just in protest, but in defiance. Defiance of a regime built on torture, terror, and tyranny. In just August alone, 170 executions were reported. And yet today in New York, Masoud Pezeshkian stands before the United Nations pretending to represent the Iranian people. And let me be clear when I say he does not. Now. Pezeshkian out of UN now. He represents a brutal and oppressive regime. Iran does not belong to the mullahs. Iran belongs to its people. And we, the people of Iran, have chosen a different path. We have chosen resistance. We have chosen freedom. And we have chosen Mrs. Maryam Rajavi and her 10-point plan for a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Iran. Azadi, Iran, Maryam, Azadi, Maryam, Azadi. Let me tell you, this plan is not just a dream, it is the blueprint, a concrete vision for the future of Iran, a vision backed by over 125 former world leaders, 4,000 parliamentarians, and a bipartisan in the US Congress. But most importantly, it is backed by the beating hearts of millions of Iranians. Millions of Iranians who have risked everything in the name of freedom. Since 2018, there have been 9 national uprisings, 9 sparks of fire in the streets. 9 times the people of Iran have shouted, down with the dictator, down with the oppressor, be it the Shah or the mullahs. چه شاه باشه چه رهبر مرد بر ستمگر چه شاه باشه چه رهبر مرد بر ستمگر چه شاه باشه چه رهبر. So today we say to the world, we demand the snapback of UN sanctions, the enforcement of Chapter 7, and urgent international action to stop the executions. We demand the world intervene to save the lives of all political prisoners. We demand that the world recognize the Iranian people's right, their inevitable right, to overthrow this regime and to build a free Iran with their own hands. Let us be the voice for the silenced, let us be the shield for the unarmed, and let us be the force that shakes the walls of tyranny in Tehran. Mark my words when I say Iran will rise from the misty shores of Rasht to the sunlit harbors of Bandar Abbas, from the sacred heart of Mashhad to the echoing hills of Kurdistan and the burning sands of Sistan and Baluchistan, to every corner of our beloved homeland. A new Iran is rising, and we, the resistance, will make it happen. Power to a free and democratic republic in Iran moving forward. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mani, and I stand here today for every family who has lost a loved one to Tehran's machines of murder. I am one of you, and I'm here to also show you the world, and you guys enter the world, that the picture of my uncle, Murad Mansourpour. My uncle was killed by the regime in Tehran in 1988. My uncle was killed by the regime in Tehran in 1988. He fought for freedom. He gave his life, and he inspires my generation to carry his torch. I am here with my family to tell the world the man sitting at the United Nations as president of Iran is Masoud Pezeshkian. He represents Khamenei and all the crimes associated with him for over 4 decades. This week alone, the regime executed dozens more. Last week, in just 3 days, the regime executed 27 prisoners. This is not abnormal. Since March, the regime's brutality has surged. The number of executions has now surpassed 800 over the past 6 months, an unprecedented figure in decades. Every number is a person, every name is a family shattered. Last month, the regime executed 2 MEK political prisoners, Mehdi Hassani and Behruz Ehsani, only because of their political affiliations. Over a dozen MEK political prisoners are now on death row. We call on the United Nations and the demand an immediate halt to execution and take steps to protect political prisoners.
Commend Iran.
Two, to enforce UN Security Council resolutions and use every legal tool to hold perpetrators accountable, including investigating crimes against humanity. And 3, recognize the Iranian people's right to choose their own future and lend political support to the organized resistance that offers a democratic, secular, non-nuclear solution. We insist on justice, we insist on accountability, and we insist on a peaceful transition led by Iranians themselves. Pezeshkian can wear a suit and read prepared remarks at the UN, but he cannot scrub the blood from his regime's record.
Right now. Akbar Khamenei Pezeshkian. Akbar Khamenei Pezeshkian.
He is not the voice of Iran. The voice of Iran is in the streets, in the chants of the brave men and women in the resistance units who have been inspired by 60 years of MEK's commitment and Mariam Rajavi's vision to overcome obstacles and risk everything for freedom. Before I leave you, I ask just one thing. Look around you. Every face here is proof that we are not alone in this fight. Everyone here have spent their lives standing for Iran, not for power, not for praise, but for dignity and for justice, for the people who've been silenced. My father, Reza Mansour, I thank you for showing me what matters, for guiding me to care, not for comfort, but for those who truly suffer. And now I proudly say with all of you, I am Iranian, I am a freedom fighter, I am a mujahid.
اراده کرده ام که سرنگون کنم تو را، ز خاک مهر و روشنی برون کنم تو را.
اراده کرده ام که سرنگون کنم تو را، ز خاک مهر و روشنی برون کنم تو را.
اراده کرده ام ز خاطرات سرخ یاس، ز پارک ها، ز خانه ها، ز مدرسه کلاس، ز کوچه ها، ز راه های تنگ و ناشناس، به دوزخی مخوف رهنمون کنم تو را.
اراده کرده ام که سرنگون کنم تو را، ز خاک مهر و روشنی برون کنم تو را.
چه سالها ز باغ ما جوان کشته ای، ستاره های شهر را شبانه کشته ای. چقدر از تبار ما ترانه کشته ای، قسم به داغ لال غرق خون کنم تو را.
اراده کرده ام که سرنگون برون کنم تو را.
صدای ارتشی بزرگ
بادی از شرار پا،
در شبانه های بی حضور،
روشنای صبح چاره‌ها.
هر گذر به نام یک شهید،
هر یکان پر از ستاره ها.
کوچه کوچه های این وطن،
ریشه پلنگ پاره ها.
من از کنام شیرهای آریاییم، به ترس از شرار قلب استواییم. کنون برای فتح قله ها هواییم، چه خوش دوچار وحشت و جنون کنم تو را. اراده کرده ام که سرنگون کنم تو را، ز خاک مهر و روشنی برون کنم تو را.
اراده کرده ام که سرنگون کنم تو را.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a respected academic and human rights advocate who has worked tirelessly to expose the regime's crimes and has been a powerful voice for the democratic, secular, non-nuclear Iran. Please welcome Dr. Hadi Shakibanejad.
Rajavi, yes. Mullahs, no. They are terrorists. They must go. Rajavi, yes. Mullahs, no. They are terrorists. They must go. Rajavi, they are terrorists. They must go. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
My name is Dr. Hadi Shakiban. Sharpest, kindest, most respectful, and considerate person you could ever find. A sociology student in University of Shiraz. Today, my friends and I stand here not just
as individuals, but as a voice for millions of Iranians, those silenced in prisons, those we speak out in protest not just against a regime, but against the normalization of tyranny. We are here because the presence of the Pezeshkian, the president of the Islamic Republic of Iran, on American soil and within the United Nations walls is not just a political gesture, it is an insult to the victims of state violence, a betrayal of justice, and a stain on the ideals this very institution claims to uphold. We stand here today to protest Pezeshkian presence. We say it loud and clear, Pezeshkian does not represent the people of Iran. Yet Pezeshkian does not represent the people of Iran. No. Pezeshkian out of UN. Now. Our beloved Iran is under occupation by a murderous regime that calls itself Islamic Republic. It is not, but this regime is neither Islamic nor a republic. It is a ruthless tradition and human right. In order to survive, the Islamic Republic resorts to vicious repressions at home and creating violence and chaos outside our borders. They have plundered the nation's wealth and supported terrorism abroad. They use terror and foreign meddling only to distract the international community from the cruelty and oppressions inflicted on the people of Iran. The civilized world must wake up and realize that the head of a snake is in Tehran. The current regime in Iran has no interest in a genuine peace agreement. They only seek to buy time to develop nuclear weapons. If they succeed, they will hold the world hostage and attempt to export their version of theocracy everywhere. Let us be clear, we do not call for foreign military intervention or attacks on Iran. Instead, we ask you to stand with the organized popular resistance of the Iranian people, National Council of Resistance of Iran, in our journey to establish a secular democratic. We are sick and tired of Shah and mullahs dictatorship. No to Shah, no to mullahs. No to Shah, no to mullahs. Like Martin Luther King once said, I have a dream. Today here, we have a dream. We have a dream for freedom, equality, and human rights in Iran. We have a dream for freedom, equality, and human rights in Iran. We demand no war, no appeasement, Iran third option, NCRI, alternative, free Iran 10-point plan, women, resistance, freedom, women, resistance, freedom, women, resistance, freedom. Our choice, Maryam Rajavi. و اکنون چند کلامی به فارسی خدمتتون. سلام بر حامیان دلیر و همیشگی مقاومت ایران، یاران سرفراز سازمان مجاهدین خلق ایران و شورای ملی مقاومت. من دکتر هادی شکیب نژاد، برادر مجاهد قهرمان مسعود شکیب نژاد هستم و چه افتخاری بالاتر از این که در کنار شما حامیان پرشور مقاومت و مجاهدین ایستادم. درود بر شما، درود بر اراده پولادینتان که هر روز قوی‌تر می‌شود. در این روزهای پرالتهاب که ایران ما در آتش ظلم استبداد می‌سوزد، ما فرزندان آزادی پیمان بسته ایم تا سکوت نکنیم. آری امروز دیگر زمان سکوت و سکون نیست، زمان حرکت و فریاد است. ما به دنیا نیامدیم تا محکوم به سرنوشتی از پیش نوشته باشیم. ما آمدیم تا با همیاری و همبستگی سرنوشتمان را از نو بسازیم. به مصداق شعر مولانا که میگوید بیا تا گل برافشانیم و می در ساغر اندازیم، فلک را سخت بشکافیم و ته نو در اندازیم. ما آمده ایم تا گل برافشانیم و می در ساغر اندازیم، فلک را سخت بشکافیم و طرحی نو در اندازیم. آری طرحی نو، طرحی نو، نه شاه نه شیخ، 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 نه شاه نه شیخ. جمهوری دموکراتیک، جمهوری دموکراتیک. در چنین روزهایی در 27 اکتبر 1981 برادرم مجاهد شهید مسعود شکیب نژاد به دست دژخیمان خمینی به شهادت رسید و پرچم ادامه راه را به ما سپرد. همان گونه که سردار کبیر مقاومت موسی خیابانی گفت مجاهدین تمام شدنی نیستند. این فکر ماندنی است چون حق است و این پرچم اگر از دست ما بیفتد و این پرچم اگر امروز از دست ما بیفتد، دست دیگری آن را برخواهد داشت. دیدیم، جوان‌ها رو دیدیم، این نهضت ادامه داره، این جنبش ادامه داره تا سرنگونی این رژیم. برادرم مسعود شکیب نژاد راه و رسم مبارزه حقیقی و فدا را از سازمان مجاهدین خلق آموخت و با عزم راسخ علیه ولایت فقیه دشمن مردم ایران به پا خواست. پس ما فریاد میزنیم مرگ بر ستمگر، چه شاه باشه چه رهبر. از این رو درخواست ما از جامعه جهانی و سازمان ملل این است: پزشکیان باید اخراج شود. اون نماینده مردم ایران نیست، اون نماینده یک رژیم جنایتکار است و سازمان ملل باید تا برگزاری انتخابات آزاد مقاومت سازمان یافته مردم ایران یعنی شورای ملی مقاومت را به رسمیت بشناسد. کافی است ما نیز همچون مجاهدین بهای آن را بپردازیم و در هر زمان و مکان همگوش و همسنگر آنها باشیم. درود بر رجبی، زن مقاومت آزادی، مرگ بر ستمگر، چه شاه باشه چه رهبر. شاه رفت شیخ هم می رود. در پایان با ایمان به راهی که شهیدانمان گشودند پیمان خود را تکرار میکنیم: سرنگونی، سرنگونی، سرنگونی.
Now we will be moved by the power, a language of resistance that transcends all borders. We are honored to have a special performance by Kamal on the violin. Please give him a warm welcome. The fight for free Iran is built on the